Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers Showcase video. In today's video, I am once again taking a look at one of your designs that you have linked me in the comments section of one of my videos. And if you wish to see something of yours shown on this channel, just leave me the Steam Workshop link somewhere and I'll eventually get around to it. But for today, we're looking at another exploration vessel, and this one is called the Nexus, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a medium-sized ship with everything you need to survive in space. It's got a little bit of defense, it's got a reactor, some batteries, hydrogen thrusters, and a small interior all set up and ready to go. Pressing F10 and finding the Nexus in the spawn menu. There it is. This thing is 683 large blocks using the decorative block number 2 and number 1 DLC packs with 2 scripts. One is the auto door and airlock, and the other is the inventory manager. So what we're going to do is have a quick look around the outside, then we're going to go on the inside, fly it around a bit, and see how well this thing crashes into another ship. So coming all the way around to the front, here we go. So at the very front here, we've got a LCD screen stating the name of the ship and who it's constructed by. Above and below that, we've got a rocket launcher to blast your enemies with. And as we move a little bit up, we can see we've got a bunch of half-slope blocks in the clean grey skin. Coming across to here, we've got a hidden little ore detector right there for you to find that precious uranium when you're out adventuring. Moving over to our glass bridge, we've got a battery on our left and our right, which is the first of many batteries dotted about this ship. We come across to our glass bridge, we can see what we have. So we've got a small control seat right there, a doorway which is going to lead in and out, and a few planters there for an extra bit of decoration with some chairs going around it. We just come all the way back and drop down the actual side of it. So we've got some glass windows there that allows the view into our small little living quarters, which contains a few beds and a medical bay. Moving across the side, we've got a bunch of hydrogen thrusters, which is our only form of thrust on this ship, so we're good for all types of planets and of course going through space. We see we've got a Gatling turret on the top there for some extra protection, especially against meteors and any other kind of stuff being flung at you. Then as we move around the back, we've got 2 large hydrogen thrusters to push us along, and there's even more batteries surrounding a connector for you to recharge your hydrogen with. If we come up and above, means we start looking at already, there's our turrets, there's some more slope blocks, there's a doorway to get in and out which will lead directly to our control seat to fly this. On the very top, another battery and some more window blocks for us to peer in. On the sides of our bridge, we got some more hydrogen thrusters, one with a little passage on the front there, and others just left bare. And coming across over to here, we can see the batteries that we saw at the start. Dropping down and coming underneath this ship, this is what we get. We've got a landing gear to plop ourselves on, and we have a little light hidden away in there. I'm not actually sure where this light is coming from. I saw this earlier, but I think it might be one of the button panel lights just glowing inside it. Never mind, eh? We've got more hydrogen thrusters on our left and our right, some more batteries, a doorway to get in if we've landed. So if we came up to this doorway, we could open it up, hop onto the ladder and climb our way into the ship, so we don't have to use our jetpack. On the dead center of our ship, we've got a jump drive which will allow us to jump 2 kilometers, and of course some more batteries. 2 more landing gear just to make sure we're perfectly balanced when we land, and that is the very back of the ship. So with that all done and out the way, it's time to go inside. If we come all the way up to there, find my character, let's go in through the bottom. So dropping all the way down over to here, we can open up this doorway and then hop onto the ladder and climb up. Or not, we're just going to fall. That was odd. Let's try that one more time. So opening up the door, there's the ladder there. I'm not going to clip onto it now, we're just going to come up to here, wait for the script to kick in, there we go, and now we can open up this door and plop ourselves down, leading us directly into our little living quarter where we've got some beds to sleep on, a medical bay to change our suit or to heal up on, got some LCD screens over here which are for the inventory manager's script so we can see everything that's going on with that, but of course there's nothing in the ship currently so it can't do anything. Got a little seat there to sit on and a planter for some extra decoration and another little bed. And looking out this window we can see the planet of where I did the previous or the video following this little ship showcase. Anyway, coming around and coming up these steps, now let's go even further into the ship, but before that, we gotta take a look at this medical bay, because we've got a hidden air vent right down there, which is a very sneaky and clever way of hiding that block. Because the medical bay does not cover up a complete block, it makes perfect sense to make a hidden air vent just below that, because the air can pump through there, and it means you have an easy place to hide that awkward block. Yes, that is a very good idea. Anyway, coming up these steps, let's go all the way up to our bridge. A double door just in case, so there we go. Then we can walk up some more steps. This doorway right here will then lead to the outside that we saw earlier. So that's where our main thrusters are, just drop down there. There's our turrets on the side. Yes, we can come back inside. And this is our bridge. So we've got some glass going all the way around the side. Looking up there, there's some more glass. Our planters, that's where we came from. Some seats there to have a little rest. And all the way around to the front, there is our control seat to fly this ship. So what does this ship have to offer? Well, it's going to be largely passive, because we're going to let those turrets do most of the work for us by auto-targeting all the pesky enemies. So number 1 and number 2 are for our hydrogen thrusters. Number 1 will simply turn off all our thrusters to make sure we don't use up any of our hydrogen. However, if we wanted to go into a cruise control, we can switch everything on, start flying, and then hit number 2, now turn off our forward facing thrust, which means we will just keep on colliding all the way forward without using any of our thrusters. Let's just go ahead and switch that back on, and you can see they've turned on, and they don't seem to be damaging those blocks right there. Anyway, number 4 and number 5 are for our power. 4 is to turn on and off our reactor, and number 5 is to put our batteries into recharge or auto. 6 to lock or unlock our connector, 7 for our landing gear, and number 8 is to turn on and off our turrets. Tab number 2, 3 and 4 are empty, so that is that. So moving forwards, this is the speed we get. We are bloody fast thanks to those large hydrogen thrusters. Stopping as well is pretty damn good, and it does look like we did damage some of those blocks right there, or I might have been imagining it. I can't see any damage going on there. It looks like they might be a little warped, but I can't quite see it. Anyway, going left and going right, we are a lot slower than going forwards and backwards. Going down and going up, we are nice and fast. And then wiggling my mouse around, we have got a lot of control over this, perhaps too much control, to the point where I'd say coming into the gyroscopes and turning them down a little bit will make it feel a lot more responsive. There we go, got a bit more weight on there. It's a little bit draggy, probably a bit too much turning down the gyroscopes. It'll do for the moment. So before we go in and shoot up a little ship that I spawned in, I will go through the control panel, because we do have a few more things that aren't quite listed. So we've got a bunch of O2 H2 generators to make sure we're full of hydrogen. We've got refineries, we even have assemblers on here. We've got 2 assemblers and we have 1 refinery, so we can just go and dump a bunch of resources in there that we find out in space and be able to repair stuff up and build some more stuff if you wanted to. Yes, I've spawned in the Jumpy Roach, which is what we're going to shoot, and one thing that I didn't notice before was we don't have any controls for our rockets on the HUD. So let's go and add that in there and just go and tilt down and start blasting it with our dual rockets, like so. So we can just keep blasting, and there we are. So now what I'm going to do is just come and reverse up, then we're going to slam ourselves right into it, and that will be that. So here we go, let's hide that, and start boosting all the way forwards. See what we can do to the Jumpy Roach. So full speed, straight into it. There we are, that's a nice lot of explosions, and then reversing back, we are still largely okay for a head-on collision that has ripped the complete front off. We are still largely in one piece and completely flyable. Forwards, backwards, we still have those thrusters, so even if we did make a mistake and lose half the front, we can still fly around and still be pretty good. Of course, we lost our medical bay and our beds, which is a terrible shame, but we still have a small platform to build off if you wanted to. But anyway, that is it for the Nexus. There'll be a link to it in the description below if you did want to play around and try it yourself. and I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Bye bye.